Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons, this week sponsored by the Power of Love. And Happy New Year to you all. It may
Yeah,
be...
okay.
What? None of you had any ideas.
Give us a chance.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does anyone else have any plugs they want to make?
No!
Okay.
Terry's Chocolate
Stupid.
Lunges.
Ooh, those are really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat one
State,
right now.
look out for
Blood.
Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden 2, Chapter 2 of the Hoops Barkley saga, which has successfully kickstarted.
And then some.
This year, look out for the Burning Tide of Demon Blood.
Hold on, I need to find the actual title.
It is actually
It's absurd. That's all you need to
Barkley
know.
2, The Mystic Legend of Tir na Nog,
Hang on, I need a drink while you say this.
Revenge of Cuchulainn, I
You
think.
can drink a six-pack while he says this title.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up because I know
My
about
beard's
that.
coming in pretty nicely since the start of the title.
I will look it up.
Have you guys met my
I
nephew?
found it.
I've got it right here. Yeah, it would be loading.
My
slowly.
wedding just happened while you were reciting that.
Drackle, you want to read or no?
Yes, it is the magical realms of
Tir na Nog.
Tirnanog, Escape from Necron 7, the official game of the movie, Revenge of the Cuchulainn, Chapter 2 of the Hoops Barkley saga, the G in saga being capitalized.
You know, that was a great eulogy you gave at Wolfshirt's funeral, last syllable, Ironicus.
And it has successfully funded with $120,000.
My hair fell
Plus
out.
people who donated via PayPal, which doesn't show up in the running total. So yeah.
This is a good thing because it means Doc Future is going to be in a video game.
Yes, I never played the first. I went in for 10 just to get the game, just because of Doc Future.
That's good. That's a
Good.
good choice.
Good.
All right. So, we are now ready to resume where we had Cadron Shriner, Algernon, and Gibnif Boneson all sharing the penthouse of a wonderful inn in the dwarven city of Undermount.
And
Trying
the rest.
very carefully to avert Yowie.
So yeah, God, like I was saying, I really apologize for being in a bad place for the last few weeks. I'd like to turn over a new leaf. My old leaves.
I am extremely happy to hear that, and I hope that your resolve will inspire others in the party named Mineral.
I'm only afraid that means the Dracolich is going to come a-knockin', and he's not the most pleasant fellow.
We can take him.
All right.
There is a knock at your suite's door.
I didn't mean that literally.
But I answer it.
All right. A young woman comes in clerical robes.
Hello, cleric.
Hello.
Hey.
What can I do for you?
I've come to seek one Mr. Boneson.
Hey, that's
That is
me.
him.
Hey.
You are the first we have prepared a trial for if you wish to undergo the ritual of purification.
All right, I'm pumping her hand like a madman, being very friendly and warm. All right.
Your hand has, there's some blood on this.
I find that unlikely.
I pull out a handkerchief and pass it over. It's from the day.
Thank you. We rest assured within the hour or two, barring some setbacks at the Temple of Ion, we are working on ways to allow the two of you to involve yourselves in the ritual.
I got a feeling you've had a few setbacks, so anything that can... Oh no!
Yes.
And anything that can get us in a position where we're able to help, you know.
We would be loved to have you. However, we're going to have to avoid the main temple for now, so you will be going to a sub-branch of the city's library.
I completely agree. It's a good thing my card has been renewed.
Wonderful.
I mean, not agree, understand. I understand is the word I meant.
All right. Let me lead you through town. And she takes you by the less bloody hand and begins leading you out forcefully with her longer legs. Somehow this dwarf is taller than you.
Y'all don't mess around. Dwarves on average are taller than
Come on,
gnomes.
Al.
Dwarves are taller than
Of course, I'm not your average gnome.
Yeah,
so.
there's that.
Come on, Al.
Where are we going?
With Ibnif. I thought that was obvious.
He's the only one being summoned for the test, but you can follow if you like.
Yeah, I'm wary about leaving anybody in this party alone ever again.
Okay.
We might
Include-
literally summon the devil.
Al, I'm afraid that
More.
if I leave you here, you're going to explode into some kind of demon portal, so you're coming too.
He does have that thing on his leg, his demon bite.
Yeah.
You know, his demon bite.
Worth keeping an eye on.
I have to figure that thing out too. You have the room card
Yeah.
key, right?
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a mod.
You
that
say
was
so.
that was an anachronism joke. Let's get on our way.
All right. You
Correct.
are dragged over, and you guys can follow, to the front lobby of a massive library. This rivals the one that you saw in Kensington's school, and the only thing that it really has going for it would probably be the fact that it seems to be about 10 floors tall.
Oh goodness!
Oh,
Oh, wait,
That's
should
a-
I not be inside?
You can follow inside. They spotted you
Oh.
pretty quickly.
That would be a lot of stairs if I couldn't teleport.
It is well known that Kadrin Shriner is not built for stealth.
clunk, clunk, clank, clunk, clank.
Very well. There is a room in the back, and a book will be awaiting you, Gibnef. You must learn what is within the trial. One of the channeler priests wrote it down for you. Are you ready to proceed?
Yeah, no time like the present. I head toward the back room. I assume
Gibnef is
this little
within
line
the
you're drawing
stacks.
here is the back room. Okay, yeah, I was right.
There is a table, there are 4 chairs, and there is a book upon the table.
Okay,
Kadrin Shriner finds himself unable to enter the room when he tries.
I
look?
sit in one of the chairs and I
Okay.
pull the book over to me and I read the cover.
I'm gonna at least look in case he
you
explodes
look
into
through-
a demon knife shower.
You look through the door, however, it's a foggy image. You can see Gibnef, you can see objects, but everything gets blurrier the harder you focus on it.
What is the title of this book?
I pressed my face against it.
The title of the book is actually Gibnef Boneson, a Biography.
I think I know this one.
It is written by one Thalassa Boneson.
Oh, that's
Wait.
a little creepy, but sweet. She doesn't get out much.
I hope it's
bless.
not like a psychological profile that she completely wrecks you with. That'll be awkward.
Yeah. Okay. First, I'm going to as a suspicious and wary person who has seen many traps in his day. I'm going to do a check with perception and arcana, 27, 43 respectively.
Okay. Perception tells you that there are thin layers of spider web around the edges of the book. And Arcana tells you that, strangely enough, the book that was enchanted with prophecy is glowing with magic, but not anything harmful, just it's magical, and the test is clearly written within.
With prophecy, huh?
I
Okay.
said the channeler priests wrote it down on a vision from Ion.
Huh, okay. So this... I flipped to the very last page.
Hello, sweetie, it says.
You motherfucker. Alright. Is that all the last page?
That's all the last page says.
I go back to the next to last page.
It is the actual description of the end of your life you pick up on in a couple of
Slam
sentences.
shut. Nope.
Yes.
Not happening.
It was written in such a flowery manner as to tip you off to that.
Okay. Alright. So this is a book that was my biography, written after my death, transported through time to be here long enough to get spiderwebby and dusted. Okay, I guess I'll start from the beginning.
When you start from the beginning, you see what is in fact a very, very detailed account of the night of your conception.
Oh, gross. I look at the locket in my pocket and make a face.
When will the trauma cease for Gibnef Boneson?
It seems to be broken up by chapter of months in your life. So if you wanted to skip to a certain one, you could.
Okay, I want to skip to the present. I want to skip to entering Undermount.
Mm-hmm. There is a large section that is condensed down given your planar travels compared to the time in this realm. A few pages just seem to be blank leading up to Undermount, you notice, given that you were not on this plane for them.
Oh, so it doesn't have... Does it have any mention at all of encountering the Dracolich?
It does not. It seems to be limited only to things that happened in this realm.
Interesting. Maybe this book will finally determine for once and for all how many realms we've been to. I swear it's really only the one, unless specifically stated otherwise, like our trip to, Sigil, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow.
Yeah, and when you see Undermount, Gibnef Boneson caught the attention of a demonic anti-paladin and was used as a conduit for it to enter the city of Undermount, is the first line.
I just throw up my hands and say, whoops, and keep reading.
Through him, another force in the War for Ion's Index was allowed into the city, and the battle that raged became more of a bloody mess than would have been possible before. However, it was through his actions that some of this was able to be averted. Luckily for everyone involved, the casualties were minimum outside of the followers of Ion himself, slaughtered and decimated from day to day.
I think we're now getting into spoiler territory, because that's like now. And I'm not sure how it got pinned on me. I think...
They didn't say it was your fault.
Okay.
They just mentioned it as the conflict going on in the city.
Okay, I'm just... Oh,
You just let one of the
It's
players
just providing
out.
a setting, come on.
Okay, so the challenge isn't written in the beginning or the end or in the now. I'm gonna roll insight to try to figure out where the challenge in this book is. 27.
Insight lets you notice two things.
I've got some theories, but I want to get a final hint.
A, there seems to be a slight abnormality in the binding when the book is open. And B, you notice the fact that your hand keeps tapping on a page.
A specific page, or just
It
a page
keeps
in
tapping
general?
on the side of the book, yeah. And you
Okay.
notice yourself doing that as you look around.
All right. I close the book and I grab all of the pages in one hand and I thumb through them as if a flip book. And whatever page my thumb stops on is one where the binding has been opened the most often. I want to read that page.
All right. You open it, and what you discover is a message that seems to be a love letter from the collection of one Thalassa Boneson to Gibnef Boneson. But it has always
around to make sure the doorway is still very blurry.
It has always baffled any scholars who tried analyzing the text. You notice that... Let me wait.
Piercing red eyes glowing through the frosted glass.
That's
I'm
not
a chaperone,
that's
too.
getting steamed up. That's what that is.
I'm a chaperone now, too.
No. You notice there are notes in the margins. Apparently scholars have been analyzing your biography.
I bet.
They seem confused as to what the hell the context of this letter is, and it looks unfamiliar to you as well.
Okay, is it dated? Like,
It is
is
dated
it in my personal past or future?
2 weeks ahead of now.
I guess that one's not too dangerous. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna read it.
Okay. I'm not going to do a voice for this, just for the sake of
Thank
everyone.
you.
Damn it.
Dear Gibnif, it seems that you had a bit of a trip to Undermount, and I'm so sorry about what happened to your companion. However, I wish you only the best. What?
Oh, nothing.
I wish you the best of luck if you are to stop adventuring as you seem fond of in your last letter. I do, however, think that there's more good for you to do, and you do need only to check the accompanying gift I've sent you. It will help you on your way. There is no record of what the gift is,
Okay.
and that seems to be where a lot of scholars wonder, given that it was something sent from a mage to a bard. The next page makes clear that you did indeed continue adventuring.
Okay. Are there any hidden codes in it, like the first first letter of every sentence spells something or anything like that?
It just says, there are 3 lines. If you go down, you see they spell out absolutely nothing.
Okay.
I was trying to think if there was any way I could make the text I worked with do an anagram, but no.
Okay, and it's just common script.
It's
It must
common.
be a lot if every sentence spells out absolutely nothing lined up.
Well, the lines.
Okay.
You can look at some of the notes the scholars have written if you like.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm sure these are all on base and not completely wild theories of crazy people.
They seem entirely unsure as of which companion she meant, given 2 deaths mentioned in the margins. And there's also the fact that at least one of them is cursing your very name in existence. It seems to have been written by a local scholar.
Oh, okay. That guy, rude.
Yep.
That's. I think I need to go 1 page previous to this page.
Okay. 1 page prior would be about a week into your future.
Well, if 2 weeks I determine it's okay, 1 week is even twice as okay.
That's true, it would be. So, at about this point, you see a triptych that has been etched into the page. Did I use that word right?
I think it's tick.
Triptych? Okay,
With
well,
a hard
triptych.
sound.
yeah.
Yeah. But
in-
yeah, it's a 3-part fold-out
Yes.
bit.
Thank you. And if you fold it out fully, or do you fold it out 1 bit at a time?
Oh, let's drag this out for dramatic effect.
The first bit shows you Joey Hooves' head on the ground. It's quite clearly severed from his body.
Okay. There's a 50-50 shot, that's a good thing.
The second... somebody says that I made an unacceptable reference, but I don't know when that was, so screw
That's
it.
probably the one where I said, you motherfucker.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
That's my-
It was Sir specifically, I think, who made it.
Yeah, well, I know what the reference was, so that places it. Anyway, the second, if you fold it out, shows you... Well, Algernon is standing over him.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything.
This is getting exciting.
And
Pull a
if
bag
you
of popcorn
open the
out of my
final
shoulder.
bit, you see that you are just sitting there playing a lute.
And so Algernon murdered Joey, and Gibnaf played a song. The end.
Well, what this means
Dear
is,
readers.
in the near future, I get a loot.
It's true.
And then 1 week into the future, you will go to the music store and buy a lute.
Oh,
The
okay.
prophecy has been fulfilled.
All right, the
Algernon
page...
goes with you and accidentally knocks over a Minotaur-shaped mannequin they had.
the page Gibnif is absent-mindedly tapping. Is that the 2 week in the future note, or is that a different page?
That would have been the same page.
Okay, I figured. And when you say an irregularity in the binding, you mean it's bent to that page.
No, I mean that the irregularity in the binding is there seems to be something under the spine of it.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, I bend it back in order to turn the binding into like a tube and just sort of shake it out.
All right. This appears to be your challenge, as it is a tiny folded note glowing from within.
Oh, I should have just checked for glowing things. Damn it.
Well, when the book was closed, you couldn't see it.
It's always the glowing
Clearly, that's
things.
the one thing in the room you're meant to interact with.
I pushed the space bar and
Do you open the note?
Absolutely.
All right. Written in a golden runic script, you see 3 words. Find the tools.
Tools. Yeah, oh wait, no. Joey and Mineral are too far away. Slam!
Dang.
Buddha.
The tools. Is there any irregularity? Can you describe this note in more detail?
It has those 3 words written on it.
This is a puzzle of some sort, I know it.
The ink is all glowing and golden, and it seems to flow around quite a bit.
Not like in motion, but it's a flowing script.
Not in
It's
motion,
like-
but it's a flowing script. Yeah.
Okay, it's like some elf wrote it.
It's not like
Some
Harry
elf wrote
Potter
this, yeah.
books or something.
Have I seen many elves around town?
They would be in the merchant district at most. However, you have
able
met
to handle
the
that? priest
priest of Ion, who was an elf.
Are you just gonna go to the first elf you see and go, "Hey, what's the deal with this magic gold paper?"
Look, my plan, my investigative algorithm, I suppose you could say, it's very Dirk Gently. You know, I'm a holistic detective.
Investigation team, go.
Let's see, find the tools. Now, am I to assume that the tools are in the book, or that I was just meant to find the challenge in the book and then seek the tools elsewhere?
It is more likely, you presume, flipping through it a little, that the tools are your challenge and do not have much to do with the book. Especially given that Cod's face pressed up against the window has allowed him to pass through once the note was read.
Is there an
followed
index?
immediately. And so does Corey Shriner, who's also had space
When
press
you go
tickets.
looking back through it again, you see that you've actually been reading a history of Undermount.
Welp.
Oh, okay. I was going to look up Francis, humiliation, but never mind.
Well, when
I
you
thought-
attempt to...
I thought this was the chapter of my life, but it turns out it was just Captain Underpants.
These comics are so relatable.
Well done. Is there anything I can do to assist you?
She says, stepping over the bodies on the floor.
I'm looking for Ace. It is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ah, you refer to the frost giant blacksmith. Certainly.
Yes.
God damn it.
What?
Wait, do I have a clear mental picture of the triptych?
You do, given that it was
Okay.
quite simple.
Second question.
Yeah.
Is the sword Algernon was holding, is it a sword I recognize him as currently owning?
If you were to look at him, it is strapped to his back right now.
Okay. I think I'm halfway. I've sought a tool. I just need to find this loot, I think. That's what I think I need to do. I need to find the tools used to slay false Joseph.
I like to imagine Gibnaf just casually walks out over the prone Condren Shriner.
Well, you know, his one lying prone, the Mohawk, make a pretty good step ladder.
Yeah, it's a step ladder up to the hill and then down his back. It's perfect. I don't blame you for it. I'm just saying that's what happened.
Nobody notices. Nobody pays any mind to the fallen Warforged. He's like a turtle. He can't get back up.
Would-
I
you-
crawl out.
Would you like directions to the blacksmith, or should I help you with this loot you're talking about?
Yes. point me in the direction of the finest musician in Undermount.
Well then,
I wish to talk shop with he or she.
I think you're going to come with me. And she grabs you by the hand again and begins leading you out to the library.
Givneff, aren't you a married man?
I think you just seduced her or something.
She
Somehow.
brings you to a familiar coffee shop where a kobold bard is on stage butchering a classic tune.
Wait, are we going with?
You can follow, it's up to you.
Familiar to hell, I suppose.
I do think Algernon just took a nap through that entire visit to the library.
Okay, fine, but I'm dragging you along here.
Wait now.
The kobold on stage is butchering one of the classic drinking songs of the Dwarven Nation. Hey, ho, hey, ho, did everybody ho, hey, ho, yeah, more ale now.
You butchering a song is the best thing you've ever roleplayed.
Thanks.
I love this pog so much. You have no idea.
There's a reason it stayed here as the bard that's always on stage when you guys walk into the coffee shop.
Yeehaw.
Don't know about this place. It's full of hippies.
So I'm gonna buy a round
Okay.
for my compadres and anybody else looking dry.
Everyone
Of
snaps at you.
Of what, green tea?
Whatever the hell you want that they serve, I suppose. I will be having a fizzy pop.
It is served to you by the Berate barista.
How about a bubble tea?
That's carcinogenic. Don't drink that.
Orbits?
And
Oh, God.
and I'll wait for the bard to finish his set politely.
2 atrocious songs later, he stops, takes a bow, and walks off stage.
All right, I clap politely.
Everyone else snaps. Everyone stares at you like you're square.
At this point, the cleric is just giddy getting to see one of her idols perform.
Cod snaps.
You're an interesting lady, aren't you? I wish we had more time to chat socially, but anyhow, I've got to ask this guy some questions.
Okay. She
So,
continues drinking her easily provided beverage. Well,
So
Gibnef bought
as-
everyone around.
What's that?
Gibnef bought everyone around. She has a drink.
Okay. I'm gonna follow this bard, and I'm gonna ask him, Sir, where on earth did you find that fine instrument?
A Warforged made it for me. The finest I've ever seen. He wanders this city left and right.
Huh. Do you think you may lead me to him? I am in the market for a lute with magical properties.
Magical properties? Why would you need a magical instrument? What sort of bard are you?
I'm the sort of bard that, instead of singing the songs of others, makes his own heroic deeds. I'm an adventuring bard, you see. A bard that aids my allies as we thwart evil.
I have a girlfriend too.
He just looks at you suspiciously. But why do you need the magical lute then?
It makes my healing magics more potent, and my my trickery more trickery.
Makes my...
So, you're not very charismatic and you need the magic to supplement your performances. Okay.
Gives me the heaviest of drops.
Well, I can't say I'm as skilled as a man such as yourself. I've only played for small venues. I'm sure you've entertained royalty.
I was thrown out of a kobold city once when a noble called for my head. I suppose that works.
Oh, well, it happens to the best of us. You're underappreciated in your time. I will say that this fine lady, who's quite pious and I would say a fascinating conversationalist, is a big fan of yours.
She's quietly creeping around you, waving.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one. Why don't you two go have a conversation? 32 diplomacy to convince them to converse.
Okay. The two of them begin talking.
I'm sure somewhere in there I got better directions than he wanders left and right.
No, you do not, unfortunately.
What a jerk.
He doesn't seem to have a set place he stays.
Okay, a physical description?
He's a rotting warforged.
Okay. Am I to assume out of character this is the same rotting warforged that Al met?
Might have been.
And how many can there really be?
Let me see. If I have not made that new pog yet. I will have to use the fill-in for now then. Crap.
We could take a pog break.
Yeah, this will be 2 minutes.